Jarrod Morris.
Howdy.
What's going on, man? You got it. Talking
Howdy.
about the new album,
Yeah, man. I'm excited.
Day Morning. Now, is this an extension of your sound, or is this like a deeper dive into what you like? Because this is
Ooh.
very different.
Oh, you think so? Very different.
I do.
Interesting. How do you think it's like different?
I mean, a lot of your songs have a very like soundscape, symphonics, and big sounds like Jezebel Queen and stuff like that. And this album seems a lot more like raw in your face with the sounds. And
Yeah.
it's dude, I love it. That 20 somethings, that should be on an intro to a major motion picture of like a coming to age film or something. Love, like, like
Yeah.
of that age, dude. I'd never use this word, but I would say like it's a bop, man.
Wow, thanks.
I love it, and it has something in there that I know you do not like, a guitar solo. Kind of. I was like, whoa, Jarrod let a guitar solo slide in there.
Oh, ironically, dude, that's one of my most proud moments too, because that's a slide solo,
Yeah.
and I played that slide solo,
Oh
and
wow.
I'm not like, but you could probably if you listen back to that in the context of me and my guitar playing, it probably because I've had some like good players that they've like heard that solo and they'll be like, it's almost like it's not overly complicated or difficult, but like it's super unique. And they're just like, I don't know how you necessarily got there. Like, cause even ending that solo, I go down to like this wild note where I'm just like, wow, wow, and I just like
Yep.
slide it up almost as like a riser going into that last chorus. And it's really unorthodox, but it just feels fun and cool. And I don't know if you ever get there without like, I don't know, it's almost like part of being kind of a bad player that if you lean into it hard enough, you might actually find something that's kind of like unorthodox and a little bit weird. Then, but it gives it like an extra life. Uh, and so it's kind of just leaning into your own like inabilities in a way can usually almost help. Uh, so I appreciate you bringing up that song because that one to me on the record is the one that's the most like out there probably, where it's like, whoa, this is not something he's done before.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. You actually hit the nail on the head better than anybody that's heard it so far. Because obviously it sounds different than a lot of stuff I've done, but it's still like my voice. It's still my lyric writing. It's just sonically some things have changed because I have always really liked stuff that is like expansive and soundscapey.
Hmm.
But we made a conscious effort to not do that and just because we recorded all of this stuff in really small rooms, so they were bedrooms basically, drums and bass and guitar, and so we leaned into the idea that it's just a small band in a small room jamming out. And so we actually tried to avoid, and then like a lot of the vocals are super dry, and I've always heard artists talk about how at some point in their career they they started to go for really dry, just like kind of in your face, not you, there's nothing to hide behind at all, and it's scary. And I think that's why like when you first start out, hey, can you put a little reverb on my vocals or something? Like I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, and I like that, but then at some point I think you hit this phase where you're like maybe confident enough to not hide behind anything. You're like, here it is. It's
Yeah.
just raw as can be. Like we didn't use any tuning software on any of this stuff. There was like minor editing. There's like no pocketing type, like a beat detector. There's no Melodyne on it. There's no AI used in the lyrics or the writing or any of it. So it cuts through and it's super raw. Like listening to some of it is like, when I flick through the radio and then I like go to one of my songs, I'm like, whoa. It's like kind of visceral, but in a good way where it's like, dang, those are humans. Those are just humans playing, and that's a human singing.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it. I think it represents my personality in my live show the most out of anything that I've done, which I'm very, very excited about. Got a lot of energy, but it's all me. It's finally something that I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is it.
Yeah. Now, was it like a tough decision? Because you're gonna have fans that only know you from like Coyote and Red Bandana and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
when if when they see like you're dropping this album on the 10th and they listen to it, like do you, their reaction of being like, because it's way different. But like I love those songs and the way those are done. But I love like it's like you jumped on a Social Distortion track and
Yeah.
just jammed out like you said, and it sound if the entire album is like what's out now, it all has the same sound like you're listening to an entirety project, which
Oh, it's cool.
I
Yeah.
absolutely love. And I get a lot of artists they do the singles, and I've noticed with you like you'll do singles and you'll go to the album and be like, "Where's that single?" And a lot of people, they used to do that back in the day. Like it was like cool to have the single, you get to like the little cassette and everything. But eventually, sometimes they would end up on an album.
Yeah.
But man, this new album, I love it. I absolutely, I
Thanks.
just, dude, like the rodeo song,
Yeah.
rodeo pay.
Yeah.
It's a story song that I don't think I'd ever get tired of listening to, and
Thanks.
and I like how you do like the sounds, just like kind of like Eminem kind of like used to do, where it's just you. It's
Yeah.
not like it has so many cool elements of just music being like you said, being made by like humans
Yeah.
and passionate ones.
Yeah.
Like this,
Yeah, and
this
like real stories and life experiences and just not hiding at all behind anything. Uh these are some of the first songs, like specifically Rodeo Pay, like we've playing that live, and it's the first time I've had any music that I cannot help but act out the song while I'm singing it. Like I can't even hardly I'll play the heavy part in the choruses, but in those verses, like it's like I just don't. And I've never been really the type to like grab a mic and walk around stage, or that's just like never really been my thing. But I just cannot help but like grab it and sort of just act out every part of that song, Uh, and I don't know. I've never had that in my song, and it's just fun. I don't know. We're at a period of music too where everybody's taking themselves like really serious, and it was necessary because like coming out of the bro country phase, and a lot of the pop music in the 2010s and stuff was just like lyrically just stupid, and there was no depth. The bro country stuff sucked. I think it still sucks. um, and we needed a phase of like thoughtful lyrics. um, on the flip side, not every song has to be like talking about your innermost dark secrets and trying to change the world. That doesn't always have to be what music is. And so I'm a consumer just as anybody else. And I kind of hit that phase where I was like, man, my shows, I want to have fun. I want to still be singing about stuff I care about, but, and maybe talking about some topics that I care about, but I still just like, I want to just jam out and have some fun. And there was a whole side of me musically, like with guitar playing and stuff, and like in the live show, leaning into that a little bit harder, that I haven't been able to do. And I felt like I was getting pulled that way, but I didn't have the music to support that. So I kind of had to do it by way of some cover songs during the live show. So it was basically like, I want to play my own music and my own songs, but I need to write some that have more of that energy and that ethos live.
yeah.
And so that's what I tried to do. I can't remember what weren't you asking me something about what were you asking me just a minute ago, that you asked me a question about we were talking about 20 somethings. I can't remember, because I didn't answer your question, but I can't remember what you asked me.
Oh, I don't even. I don't remember myself. It's. I have no idea.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know what it was, but I'm incredibly excited about it. It's fun to play live. You know, and it's the first time I've made music where uh, there's been people that hate it. So that's a fun experience for me. Because obviously I haven't like had massive success. I've had some stuff do really well, and I've been able to like carve out somewhat of a career in this thing. But most people I've talked to when they hear my stuff or whatever, they're like, "Man, he's good. I really, you know, if they don't like love it, they at least are like, yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's good, you know." And this is the first time like I've played it some of this stuff live for people, uh, and like you can see. There was one time specifically, and it was an older crowd, like people in their 60s and stuff. So like it clearly wasn't going to resonate, but uh, you could see like half of the people were like, "Oh my gosh, I've never heard something like this before, and I love it, like love it." And then there was a portion of the people that were like, "I literally can't listen to this anymore. I hate it." And for instance, like my mom, I showed my mom this record, and she's obviously like my biggest fan in the whole world. She calls me son, 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 you're amazing, you know, whatever. And I showed her this record, and she turned around. We were sitting in my dad's truck, and I was in the middle back seat, and they were in the two front seats. And my dad was jamming it. He's like, "This is awesome. I love this." And she just goes, she turned. It was the first song I played for her, and she like turned around and looked at me, and she goes, "Oh," she goes, "Son," she goes, "I don't like it at all."
Oh my God.
She goes, "I really don't like it." So I showed her some more of them, and she was like, "I don't like this, you know." But it's like, yeah, it's got this freaking rock and roll, you know, Texas blues slash uh, punk 90s grunge thing.
Yeah.
Like it, you know, if you don't like that stuff and some of that aggression, yeah, you ain't gonna like this, you know. And it's really, yeah, it ain't your freaking, it's not your grandparents' country music at all.
Yeah.
But what I do think it is it's like the ethos and the energy that I think Chris Ledoux was trying to bring to the country world and the
Dude,
cowboy world, uh,
100%.
while utilizing some more modern like rock and roll, indie rock, punk, grunge, doing that stuff, but like with like a cowboy theme is where it's at. And some people, that's not for everybody. I get it, but
Yeah.
it's definitely for some people.
Oh, dude, I absolutely love it. But I love your other stuff too. You have a very diverse catalog. You
Yeah,
know,
which the industry's not. They don't love that.
yeah,
You know,
and
the
that
industry, managers, record labels, all that. They're not interested
yeah,
in that.
that's so weird to me because like it's really cool. Like you have this, dude. It is kick ass. I absolutely. I first sat down with it, I'd heard the one song, and like I've been getting like copyright strikes and everything. But then when you listen to it all like just sitting down, you just I just had like the biggest. As soon as 20 somethings came on, I was like, what a way to tie up an incredible experience because like you're the other side of you like you have songs like where you sound like Prince, like it. If you ever wonder why, with that
Yeah,
smooth
sure.
guitar, you know what I mean, and like you have the sometimes one of your songs will come on, and I'd be like, the other day, you know, I prep for these things. I said, I went, "Is that George Strait?" And it was
Oh,
one of your songs, and I was
yeah.
like, "Man, it's so diverse."
Thanks.
And for this to come out, because like I love stuff like that. Like you said, there's nothing to hide behind. It sounds like humans made it in 2025, which is getting super rare.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like you can feel the songs. And it's it's fun to like laugh along with the song and you know and
Yeah, man.
you get hit by the bull and you, the victim thinks it's an ambulance and the dude runs off and they took all of his radio pay, the
Yeah,
DEA.
we're rhyming Wambalam and ambulance.
Yeah. Yeah. Call the ambulance.
Yeah, dude. I
I
mean, yeah, it's like just trying to have fun with it. Fortunately, this was not like a concerted effort, but if anything, it was like the wrong move at the time. But like after my first record, the music that I put out, even that didn't really totally line up with the first music that I put out. And like obviously, people typically kind of fall in love with the first stuff you put out, and that's sort of what they hold you to.
mhm.
And if I was advising like another artist or managing an artist or something, and I was objectively talking about how do you become as successful as possible, I would say once you have any level of success at all with a certain type of music, continue to make that same music over and over again. And that will probably lead to the most success objectively.
Yeah.
That wasn't something that I consciously tried not to do, but it's also not something that I consciously did. So like the music I put after my first record like sounded a little different, and I'd always kind of bounced around to just different sounds and different styles of music, and like not like schizophrenic because I was writing all the music and I was recording it and playing most of the parts, so it's not like it wasn't me or something and I was chasing sounds, and I didn't ever really go for anything that was popular at the time. I was just doing stuff that I thought was cool. Um, so through that, I think I lost some people for sure. And then I could even tell there's people that have come to shows, that it was like a little like, hold on, okay, I thought this was like super country horseshoer guy lighting a cigarette on a hot horseshoe, like, but he's playing Tears for Fears at his live show, like it, so it kind of threw some people off. And like, okay, cool. There's other people that were like, I love that you didn't do exactly what I expected. There's some people that like that. And so fortunately through that process, I think I shed some fans that probably wouldn't have liked this stuff now anyways. And the people that are here and the people that I'm building through this whole process are the ones that are going to be, I think, with me my whole life. And they're going to be the ones that are like, whatever he's vibing with, we vibe with. Like, we just want to hear what
Yeah.
he's up to, which is such a cool spot to be. And I'm sure it doesn't lead to being like a household name or being the next huge thing, but I do think I can carve out like a really fun career and be able to also get some respect from like other artists and stuff, and be able to produce records with other people, write songs with other people, and have like pretty much everybody I meet at my shows uh, are all people I would hang out with.
Yeah.
Like once I meet them, like we're all kind of on the same wavelength. I don't really have like passive fans. It's like if they come, they're super into it, and they're usually like pretty eclectic, and they're just into a lot of different stuff. So it's like a cool bunch,
Yeah.
and I think that's uh, what my goal is to like carve that out. But fundamentally, I've been in a search as well to find like what is like truly my sound. And I think pretty sure I'm getting closer to it.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Was like the show like one of the first in that direction?
I think so.
Because
That's
that
funny you say that. Yeah, yeah. I think
because
so.
because I was like, man, he's doing something really cool here.
Yeah.
And then like this album totally sheds a lot of like layers out of that and
Yeah.
just gives you just the bare bones in your face.
Yeah.
But it it's really cool to listen to because like knowing like I like so much on that side, I don't miss it at all. And I think what you did is it's fantastic. And
Wow.
the whole vibe of all the songs in a row, and I'm like I can't wait to hear the rest of them because hearing an album that all sounds like it was done at the same place, like how it was done like in the old way, like you
Yeah.
stayed at a place and just everything having like the same sounds, and I don't
Yeah.
know, there's just something about that I just really like, but I really like, and I like how it's like brought you back to life,
Oh,
like
no doubt.
on
Yeah.
stage, like you're saying you're doing stuff on stage you don't do, and like
Yeah.
to love what you're doing is to see it as like a fan, like on the stage when you see a guy that you know from before of how he was to play his new music is it's a new sound for your fans. Like how can you not love that for an artist that you like? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. I
yeah,
guess
do you?
the only thing that can sometimes be disingenuous is like, it's like there really hasn't been anything about me that's changed. Like I still do the same thing. I'm into the same stuff.
Yeah,
Like I'm not suddenly like, I don't know, like wearing a fur coat driving out on a Harley onto the stage or something. You know what I mean? Like it's still just me. I still like dress the same way.
Yeah.
And so I guess part of the journey is like explaining to people like my full personality. And honestly, going and playing live helped me figure out exactly what I wanted to do. And so like playing for people who were fans and seeing their reaction to certain things helped me like resonate more with even like who I wanted to be and what I wanted to play. But like when you put out your first record and stuff, like I had only played, cover gigs and stuff like that. Like I wasn't out touring my own music. So you have no inclination of, you're just writing songs that you like and being honest, which is good. And that's an element of it. But I don't think until you go out there and really start playing for people and putting together set lists and all that, that you go, yeah, like I like the songwriter thing, and I can sit in a theater that's silent, and I can tell some jokes and stories and play serious songs, and I enjoy doing that, and I can do that. But there's a huge part of me that, like, the whole reason I got into music initially was because of the blues and playing guitar and jamming with my buddies. But my whole music career hasn't really been that because I got the songwriting bug as well. So I got more into the folky songwriting thing, which I enjoy, but going out and playing live night after night and connecting with people and that performance element, it's like there was something missing. So then I would always, it's like, I don't really want to play that song, because even people that are into your music in a live setting, there's almost a part of them too that they just kind of want to cut loose and have some fun as well. um, So it's like, how do we make that happen? How do I do something that's authentic to myself that gets me super inspired, while also making it like this sort of freaking communal live experience for everybody else? And so yeah, just through a lot of that soul searching and exploring like a lot of different sounds, that's how I arrived here. And then just that freaking sort of guerrilla warfare tactic where it's like I'm as indie as it gets. I don't have a booking agent. I don't have management. We've done all this DIY on our own. I have my own studio. Uh, we cut all the stuff ourselves. We play the parts. We self-produce it. It ain't a fancy studio. We're recording in bedrooms. So throughout that process, it's like, well, let's not make it sound like it's some huge slick recording. Like let's use the reverb from the room that we're in. Like, let's let it sound roomy. And you can do some other little things. Like we did some cool stuff with like tape machines and slowing groove, like running it back through the tape machine and slowing the groove down just to give it like a warble. And so there's like cool producer stuff that we did, but it's very like reminiscent of like vintage recording and using some of those techniques to just like develop some cool vibes and stuff, but without letting it get overly produced. Like just using the tools that we have at our disposal rather than trying to like trick people into thinking this is some huge, massive, pop track. It's like it ain't. We just recorded it in a bedroom.
Yeah. It and it's funny it captures your swag too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, 'cause I was just talking to Colton Rice about it. Where I was like, oh yeah, like Jarrod Morris has definitely that Cody Canada swag.
Oh, that's freaking one of the nicest
And
things I've ever heard.
and I want to see people screaming kick rocks. Like it's I really think this is a great album, and I hope it gets well received because like who's released anything like that like this at all?
I know everybody likes to think that what they're doing is like super unique. Uh, I mean, it's funny too. Like some of the songs I've posted, I've had people comment like, because I'm like talking about, I'm trying to figure out what genre it is, so I'm like making up all these like funny explanations for it, and people will be like, "Well, Chris Ledoux already did that," and I'm like, "Did you just listen to the song I just played you? Like, it doesn't sound anything like Chris Ledoux." I'm not even saying, but I get it. It's like I understand what they're saying. Like
Yeah.
it's tapping into a similar energy and like an ethos, but sonically, uh, like I haven't heard a ton of stuff that's quite like this. I mean, because even Kick Rocks, like that to me has the most similarities to like a Black Keys, you know, that indie rock thing, and that huge syncopated tom pattern thing. I mean, that's like the Black Keys, but nobody's done that style of music with like a cowboy aesthetic and cowboy
Yeah.
lyrics. And,
And that,
so it's merging of some worlds that I personally haven't seen before. Um, and it's like you just kind of stumbled, but that's also by way of just like playing with. I had never been in the position where I could just jam and arrange songs like with a band. Like a lot of these songs were wrote just from jamming, right? And you just find a groove and it's like that's dope. And I mean, there was probably two of them that when we tracked them, I didn't have any lyrics written for them. The one that's getting released with the album on Friday is one that's called Longhorns, and like the chorus is the hook is like Longhorns on a limousine, and it's got this huge riff like dun 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 dun. Like I didn't have any lyrics to that song when we recorded it. And we just found a groove and then got an arrangement. And I just mumbled a melody, and then I went back later and like actually wrote the song. And I had never done that before on any of my music, So it's all like super musically driven and rhythmically driven. So it's like me, a good bass player, and a drummer, like just grooving on stuff and finding stuff that's just interesting musically.
yeah.
And then I take my little songwriter thing and try to, pull something out of it. You get inspired by the music rather than just write something and then try to figure out what musically you should do to it. That's typically more of the world I was in, which I think is similar to a lot of like country artists.
Yeah, that's cool how you're making music that just makes yourself feel, and you're finding new ways how to write and just evolving as an artist, and like genuinely like loving what you're putting out.
Love it.
Yeah, I
Never been more confident in it while knowing that there's people that hate it. You know what I mean? I've never really every stuff I've released before, I'm like, dude, I really think people will dig this. Like it was hard for me to think about anybody that would just despise it. And sure, there was still people that hated it or whatever.
yeah.
But I don't know, like this stuff. If somebody was like, I hate this, I'd be like, yeah, totally, I totally get it.
Yeah.
But I love it.
You can do like a at the merch booth. You could tell the story about being the truck with your parents and have a team mom, team dad. Just monetize it.
Funny. Yeah. Chill little check mark.
Yeah, because your fans are like, oh, you and them shirts.
Yeah.
Go to the bathroom.
That's hilarious, dude. Yeah, because you can imagine how much my mom wants to like it. She goes, "Oh my gosh, I want to like it so bad, but I just don't."
That's still amazing that she would never lie to you.
No. No, she's straight up, dude.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah, but more meaningful. That's how you know the ones that she does like. I mean, she truly likes them.
Yeah,
So,
maybe it'll grow on her. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it will. But she doesn't like, like my dad used to love like Molly Hatchet and stuff like that, and she hated all that stuff. She likes stuff that just sounds pretty.
Yeah.
Super melodic and pretty, which I like that stuff as well. But there's also a huge component of me that, I was raised on, ZZ Top and Stevie Ray Vaughan and Jimi Hendrix, and then, I mean, I skateboarded a ton growing up and raced motocross and wakeboarded and surfed. So like the punk thing was like heavy in my world all growing up. And grunge was something that I got into a little bit later in life, but yeah, some of that heavier. It's not even heavy because I still like stuff that's pretty melodic. And who knows? I've never liked metal, and I've always talked trash about metal. And but I can even feel myself kind of coming around a little bit, where at least I could go to a show and be like, okay, I get it. But see, even metal, I think metal has lost some of its authenticity because of recording styles, where it's just got super synthetic and like they they artificially pocket stuff where it's like at some point I'm like, well, this is just computerized music, which I understand it takes a lot of talent and time to do it, but I'm just
Yeah.
not. I'm interested in like the human expression of music,
Yeah.
not the computer like making it perfect or whatever. And I feel like that's what's happened to metal. Um, but so I don't like stuff that's too heavy, but I'm coming around. I'm coming around.
Yeah. It was funny as a guitar player, some of the guitar tones, normally I can pick out stuff. I was like, is this just like neck pickup with the tone control all the way back with that honk?
Right.
Because that would be the only way I know how to get that sound. And I'm sitting there trying to like dissect your music, and it's been a long time since I've been like stumped. Like I was like, funny. Man, yeah. I was like, I know there's some octave on the one or something, or and I'm just like, man, that would neck pick up, roll all the tones back on everything. You get that and kind of open wall.
Let me give credit where credit's due, because like not all of I had there's another guitar player, and he used to be in my band, and now he plays with Caitlin Butts, and his name's Adam Duran.
Okay,
he played guitar on Kick Rocks and Single Side. So the riff on Single Side of a Double Wide, he came up with that part and played it, and then that big he played that part on Kick Rocks. So that's his tone and all his stuff there. But like all that other stuff. But it's a collaborative effort. But I have to give credit where credit's due. And but what I will say is the producer that I work with, Wyatt, and he's my drummer, showed me. I'm a very simplistic player, and I hate gear and like techie stuff. I just want to play. And so through the recording process, like him even just showing me how to work like a preamp. Like there was most of the guitar parts on that thing, especially like a couple singles ago, there was a song called Want a Buck that was like this like punk rock kind of anthem thing. And those guitars were all like, I think there was maybe one guitar track that had like an orange amp or something on it. But other than that, those were all just like going through the pre's, like a Neve preamp. And we would just like, I'd just cook that pre to get the distortion that I wanted. And other than that, it was just working my pickups and my tone knobs. And even on that track, the guy who played bass on that was a guy named Sean Hurley, who he's played on John Mayer's last like 4 or 5 records or something. He plays in his live band, and he actually played the bass on that track. And when we sent him he did it remotely. And when we sent them to him, he was like, dude, I really dig these guitars. He's like, just that overdriven preamp. He's like, I don't hear anybody doing that right now. And he's a big Beatles guy apparently. And so that's actually where and I'm just not like a historian on music really, but like Wyatt had shown me like, yeah, dude, the Beatles, they just run straight into these pre's. That's like how they would get all their tone. Huh. And so like I've started doing that a bunch, where it's like there ain't nothing. Like I just am going straight into a pre. And so you get these like really raw tones, but yet they have this kind of edginess and saturation to them if you lean into it a little harder, but you're not doing anything overly sophisticated. And it just sounds like so real and doesn't sound covered up by anything. And so I think some of that you're hearing too, where you're like, can't quite pinpoint like what is going on here? Like, what is he using? And it's like, not much, nothing really. And so the further I've dove into recording, it seems like the best stuff is just this incredibly simplistic approach.
Yeah.
Like even listening to like Tame Impala, who's like the producer's producer. I mean, he kind of has that Beatlesy thing too, where it's all like, there's some slickness in there for sure, but for the most part, they keep it super simple.
Yeah. And do you think, because like you don't like gear and you don't like complex rigs and whatnot, like that kind of helps you find these sounds of just being like, because anybody would be like, hey, what are you doing? Like, why do you have an electric guitar and you plug it? You know what I mean? Do you think that helps? Like, because somebody that like would know gear and everything in like the modern day would, that they would they wouldn't think to do something like that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, what's really funny is probably one of the most, and this might be totally wrong, but in my experience, like one of the most pro things you could potentially do as like a session player, like guitar player, is like, well, show up at the gig totally prepared, have your amps and everything that you need, but just walk in there totally prepared to go direct in and like not have anything going on, and like get rid of all your reverbs and all your delays and all your stuff, and just like sit there and listen to the song, and then just kind of start and then just play along to it, but be totally prepared to play like totally simplistic, and allow like the producer and the engineer to add all, if they want it they can add all that stuff in post.
Yeah.
um, and just approach it from that way. Like there's even I don't remember specifically where at, but there's delay parts that I played on this record that I played the delay because I don't know how, like, and I don't have the attention span to like sit there and figure out what delay and how, I just don't. So it's like just change guitars and maybe change the amp and then change your pickup position a couple times, figure out what's going to work, and then play the delay, like play it. Uh, and it's just, and it probably does come up with like a different tone, or like just it's like, what is that? And maybe one of the delays isn't perfectly syncopated, but my vocals aren't perfectly syncopated either and pocketed. So maybe the way I play the delay like leans into the pocket of my vocals, and it ends up feeling better anyways than
Yeah.
having the super rigid, right? So it's almost like by way of being kind of bad and not uh don't not like you don't really have a ton of ability. It actually like gives you the chance to maybe do something even more unique in my personal experience. But make no mistake, I'm not like a session player, so that
Yeah.
is where my weakness would be. I wouldn't be able to roll in for somebody else and just and be able to do that. I mean, because this is like me sitting in front of Pro Tools for hours and hours just trying to figure some stuff out, and you don't have that luxury, being a session player. So
Yeah.
I'm terribly unimpressed with my abilities, but very confident in. Um, it's a weird. It's like counterintuitive. I'm not impressed with my abilities, but yet I'm like super confident in the uniqueness of them.
Yeah. And the product that
Yeah.
the result of that is you get you get to share stuff with people out there. It nobody's playing their own delays, like,
Right. Right.
I got this
Well,
little pedal
I'm
here.
such an idiot. I don't even know that that's not normal. So it's like Wyatt will be like, "What is this track?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just heard this like weird little offbeat da 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 da." And he's like, "You played that?" And I was like, "Yeah." Well, he's like, "Why didn't you just use like a delay or something?" I'm like, "Oh, dude, I don't."
Yeah, no.
Like, how'd you play that? So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, it's like I hope I get his name, Rick Rubin, where they were like, where'd you go to school for music? I didn't go. What abilities do you have? I have none.
Yeah.
How do you know what you're doing? I don't know. I just know what sounds good for the song. And
Right.
that's kind of just the mentality it sounds like you have. Like, let's just do it for the song in the way that is me.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like, you know, the things you're doing, like, definitely nobody is probably doing any of that. But if they do hear this, I bet you someone's looking for a new sound, a new personality for their music. They're gonna try to do what you just explained. I know I'm gonna next time I'm around preamp, I'm gonna and crank it and see what happens and be like, that's what Jarrod was doing, you know?
Yeah, and it's like if you explore all the it's almost like you're learning to golf and you like can barely hit a wedge, but you just want to grab that driver and bomb a driver. It's like, bro, you don't even know how to putt yet. Like, I don't think we need to be grabbing for the driver. That's how I feel about my playing. It's like, dude, I haven't even figured out all the options of just tone knob and pickup position, and then just driving into an amp. Like, I haven't even figured out all those options really. So why am I even bothering with all this other stuff? Like you can accomplish so much just with the pre or with an amp and just the guitar, and then switching guitars. Like I don't. I mean, there's just endless possibilities.
Yeah.
And I don't have the attention span, so it takes care of itself too. So
Yeah. Gets that problem right out of the way.
yeah. But dude, thanks for freaking thanks for thanks for doing this. Thanks for listening to the music and always supporting. And I love what you do and your open mindedness. It's inspiring for sure.
Yeah, dude, I get to listen to some awesome music, and what you're releasing on the 10th, October 10th, 10/10 is absolutely awesome. I love it. It's
Well,
such
thanks,
a
man.
it's such a fresh sound. And
Yeah, and we've got this week we've got 2 album release shows. So like the 9th is in Fort Worth in the Stockyards at Rhinestone Saloon, and then the 10th is in Plano, Texas at Love and War, and those are album release parties. And we're gonna play the record. So that might sound weird, but a lot of times at album release parties, they don't even play the songs on the record, or they might play one or something.
yeah,
But we're gonna play some of my other stuff too, and then but we got a dope show. So the whole back half of the show is us just rocking out.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
I hope they go well. And man, I'll be seeing you soon. I'll be seeing you next week, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're going to the what is it called?
Stocktoberfest
Stocktober.
at Rhinestone Saloon.
Presented by Country vs. Metal.
Well, yeah, a Cowboy Distortion.
Cowboy Distortion.
Jarrod Moore's vibe.
Yeah.
You're going to be there representing yourself, representing someone.
Is that like an open to the public party or what?
Yeah.
So that's at Rhinestone Saloon too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. On the 15th.
15th of October. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So
trying to develop an actual community around Texas. It's difficult. Bunch of independent spirits. It's hard to get them all.
Huh.
You know.
I know that every time I talk to somebody and they know who I am and coming from, they always be like, man, it's nice to talk to somebody who knows about this heavy metal band. So there are people walking around them stockyards looking for your sound, and hopefully they find it.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Yeah, they will. You just keep doing your thing and have fun doing it, and that's really the whole point of any of it. So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'll see you at the Stockyards, and congratulations on your album and really giving yourself the gift of playing what you think or what you know, what you feel is your sound. It's exciting. It's exciting for me because we've talked so many times, and I've met you a bunch of times, and you're just a genuine dude, and I like to see good people happy, and I hope other people really love what you did, because there's some great songs on there. And
thank you. Thanks for real.
Yeah, people are gonna love it.
Either way, we have fun with it. So
yeah, hell yeah. But yeah, man, thanks for jumping on.
Yep.
And
likewise,
I'll see.
Thanks for having me, man.
Hell yeah. And
see you, Patrick.
See you, man. Later.